story time with Game Master Mike. Hey folks, are you ready for another stories video? Well, this time it's going to be about my school bus horror stories. Now, these are all true stories about my experience riding the school bus for 13 years. Well, it was fun traveling to school on the school bus and back. However, it seems like I've been on the school bus for a long time because at the time when I was a kid, I lived on the east side but went to school on the north side for 7 years. So I want to tell you all the stories about that, all the horror stories on the school bus. So anyway, here's what happened. The first 6 years of when I went to the north side, I was on the school bus for about an hour, and my last year going to the north side, I remember they changed bus routes. I was on the bus for about an hour and a half going to school and back every day. I remember having to get up at 6 in the morning that year, having to catch the bus at 6:30, and then going back because they changed bus routes and I did not have to transfer school buses over at East Side because of it. Yep, I had to do that on the East Side because the bus going back did not go that route, so I had to take another school bus to get to my home. So anyway, here is the story. When I was in the second grade, going to the school bus on the way home, of course, this one elementary school on the east side, this kindergartner would not get on the school bus. She was terrified. She was struggling trying to get on with the two kindergarten aides grabbing her, trying to get on the bus, and then the bus driver pulled in. And then I yelled to the other students on the bus, "Can I have your attention, please?" And I asked the bus driver what's wrong with her. He said she's afraid of the bus. So she was afraid. They were able to get her on, and when she got to her stop, she immediately bolted off the bus and ran. I don't know if the reason she was afraid is she was being bullied by these two girls that apparently run the school bus, these two older girls that was around my age and in my grade that had to take control. Remember, they would pretty much get into fights and everything. Of course, during my elementary and middle school years on school bus, we had assigned seating. And the person that I usually sat with, that they assigned with, was kind of not that great. Because I remember, believe when I was in the 7th grade, I had to sit with this emo girl that always runs her mouth a lot. So I sat with her since the 6th grade. I remember there was a lot of fights on the school bus. Remember, the school bus had to be pulled over several times because the bus driver had to break up the fight. I remember there was paper rod fights a lot. I remember at one time at the junior high, they had to turn around the bus, and then they dropped the students off at the junior high, and the principal had to make a lot of rules about that, so that wasn't surprising that they gotten it. So I remember 6th grade trying to get off the school bus to my elementary school, and then these two girls, the one this tall girl saying that she was going to bust somebody's fucking ass, and that's when the brawl happened. And the bus driver ran up trying to break up the fight while I was trying to get off the bus in safety and everything, so that's what happened here. And I remember, speaking of that, back when I was in the 7th grade, of course, I had to sit with this girl on the bus. I remember that one time she was crying because the student teacher had left. I remember sitting with her and she cut herself because of that. She pretty much cut herself on the wrist and she was bleeding everywhere. Remember getting off the bus and try to run home, being devastated about that. I explained to my sister about this girl that was crying because the student teacher left and she got a pair of scissors and tried to slit her wrist. That really happened on the school bus that I sat with this girl. That was give me chills to this day that she apparently attempted suicide. Everybody asked her what's wrong and she said nothing. And then that's when that happened. By the way, cutting yourself will not solve your problems. It will make it worse. So I don't understand why some people do that. So yes. Remember, also in the 5th grade, this preschooler was so terrified riding the school bus that, of course, the bus driver had to get this kid, and the kid had a demonic scream. Well, the mom got her on the bus. He went on the bus and told him that nothing to be afraid of. And when the mom got off in the bus road, the bus driver told him, wave bye-bye to Mommy, and he was screaming, Mommy! 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 And that devastated me a lot. I remember arriving at school when I was in the 5th grade, I started crying. I even called home sick, and I had to make up an excuse about the bells that's making my head hurt. So the trick worked. My mom came to pick me up. Of course, when my dad came home, he explained to me why I was home, and I lied. I explained to everything, and I got punished for it. My dad told me, you played hooky. You made Mommy miss work. You made Daddy miss work. I'm going to take away your Nintendo 64 for a week. And so he did. So I was devastated a lot. Well, folks, there you have it. That is my part 1 of my school bus horror stories. And stay tuned for part 2.